If you don't have patience, IRCC will teach you what is called patience. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. As you already know, it's your girl Aduke. Today I'm going to be discussing with you on how I migrated to Canada all the way from Nigeria, Lagos, Nigeria. I was going to say New Brunswick, Canada, right? But all the way from Lagos, Nigeria, telling you or discussing with you on the things that I did for my study permit to be approved by the IRCC. Subscribe to my channel, like, and drop your comments in the sessions, please. So I started my relocation process in the year 2021. I was in Germany at that time, and I had recently been out of job. After leaving a toxic workplace environment, I resigned from a job that was really toxic to my mental health, and the fact that I wasn't concentrating, it dealt with me in a lot of ways, and I decided to resign from that job. I took a break of about 3 months. Within that 3 months, I did a West African tour with my then boyfriend and now husband. Yes, I got married last year. Thank you. I know you're happy for me. So yes, I did West African tour. I went to Togo, I went to Ghana, I went to Benin Republic, and those were the 3 major places I went to in 2021 when I resigned from the toxic workplace, the job I was doing at that time. Then I got another job in a tech startup, and I decided to take up the new challenge of diving into the tech world and see what it has to offer for me. Also, when I joined this organization, it was almost the same pattern of what I experienced at the last place. So I decided to leave the company, and when I did, it really shook me because I had never really been out of job before. I have always been somebody that before I resigned from a company, I already have an alternative, like a backup. So I'm never really out of job. But this time around, I resigned without having any other option at this time. So during this period, it was a down moment for me. My boyfriend then decided we should go to Europe, and we should just go on holiday, and we'll be back in the next couple of weeks. And I'm like, okay, why not? If not, that would be fantastic. That would have been my very first time traveling out of Africa. So yes, I was in Germany. I got to Germany, and it was beautiful. I wasn't expecting, not really that I wasn't expecting it to be that beautiful, but I knew at that point in time. In fact, when I landed at the airport, the Berlin-Brandenburg airport, I knew that this is the kind of life, a sane environment, beautiful views, beautiful environment, somewhere where everything works. Yeah. So that was when I started. We had already discussed this before. I remembered when I mentioned something at that time. I think we just started dating at that time. And my mom came visiting. So we were having conversation, and it was like, if you need to relocate out of the country, please go, don't think twice. I will find my way to join you. And my mom was like, what did you just say? She told me that, she said, no, I don't think this guy really loves you and all that. But thinking about it right now, he meant well. He literally told me that I should not wait for him to make a certain decision about my life. And at that point, I felt like maybe he was just blabbing and it didn't make any sense, right? Now, that is the backstory of how I decided to relocate out of Nigeria in the year 2021. I have a friend here in Canada that is also in New Brunswick here, and I had a discussion with him. Eventually we started talking, and then it was even the one that told me, like, look, that you're not supposed to still be in that place. You're supposed to be out here and be exploring life and ensuring that things work out for you. So I discussed it with him, and then we started the application. So he gave me different options, but I chose Eastern College. Eastern College here it's here in New Brunswick, and I chose a pathway. It's a provincial nomination private college provincial nomination pathway. So you have to study a list of courses: PSW, supply chain, cybersecurity, medical assistance, and I think youth and childcare or thereabouts. I'll probably do more research about it. As at that time, it was a pilot pathway. So when we had that discussion, I got my admission with the Eastern College, and I paid my first deposit. Of course, when I started this, it was in January 2022, and I was already when I go back to Lagos, I started the application. Of course, when I was going to make this decision, I thought about it. What is it about life that you think that you need to do something by yourself? I know a lot of people are very secretive, but I remember having to discuss this with a couple of my friends and say, hey, this is what I'm doing. Are you interested? Would you want to migrate? I know I'm not getting paid for it, but then I'm somebody that like my people. As long as you're my friend, you're my whatever, I just want you in my corner, right? So I remember I reached out to my friend Mujisola MJ. I am sure she's in one of my videos. If you've seen the video, I'm sure you would recognize her. And I remember having this discussion with her, and I'm like, hey, this is what I'm doing. Would you mind? Are you thinking of relocating? She's like, I'll think about it. Then she got back to me again later on, and I'm like, okay, let's do this together. And she also picked the same course, the same school, and yeah. So I gathered every of my certificates, my diploma, everything. I gathered it, and then I had to look for a solid statement of explanation, which I know that is like the major thing. But you see, when you're back in Nigeria, you think that people will be able to help you with things. But when you get here, when you get into the system, you understand that really nobody has any time for anybody. If they help you now, when you get here, you will still struggle with the same thing. So why don't you want to go through the hassle now and figure it out? And then when you get here, it's not going to be any problem for you. You'll be already used to it. So I came up with a fantastic statement of purpose. I remember sharing this with one of my friends back then, and it meant a lot to me. So after gaining my admission, I gathered all my documentations, all my paperwork, all my certificates, everything. I gathered it, and then I posted it. I attached it, and paid my first tuition, my deposit. Then I sent it to the IRCC. So I submitted my application in April 2022. I think it was April 11th. Yes, 11th of April. That was when I submitted my application. Now, after submitting this application, nobody prepared. The thing is, you see that stage of gathering information, gathering all the documentation, gathering all the documents that you need, gathering everything. Oh my God, it drives you nuts. It's like you're doing research, and it's so, I don't know, it becomes really overwhelming if you're not used to doing all of these things yourself. But I did this by myself, and of course I also had somebody that would nudge me to say, hey, don't do it this way, hey, do it that way. But every other thing, every other information, every other thing I had to do, I did it myself. Now, after submitting my application to the IRCC, that was where the proper, if you don't have patience, IRCC will teach you what is called patience. IRCC will teach you what is, oh my God, I submitted my application in April. May, I didn't hear anything from them. June, I didn't hear anything from them. July, August, September, October, Jesus Christ, November, nothing. I was already panicking. I remember my friend that submitted her application in May, IRCC responded to her within 3 months. She got visa approval in September, I think May. June, July, August, September. Okay, that's 4 months. But I had to wait, and I was waiting. A lot of people will say a lot of things like, you shouldn't have disclosed what you're doing. When you're doing some things, you need to keep quiet. I don't fault them. But you see, I did not regret having to share this with my friends, because to an extent, I know that if you are my friend, then we probably have the same vibe, and we probably have the same focus and goals and aspirations about life. So at that point in time, I felt like I didn't have any regrets, and I was happy. My friend was worried for me because she literally used our application actually mirrored each other. I don't know if you can understand me, but yeah, mirrored each other. So we're like, okay, if they approved our own visa, then they should obviously approve mine, because I submitted before her. And then I didn't hear anything from them. So I got another job in August. I got married in July 2023, and then I got another job. I was resuming a new job in August 2022. I beg your pardon. So when I got my job, I started doing the job. I fell in love with the job, fell in love with the people, fell in love with the work environment. It was like my dream place. Even though it was a much more junior role, I didn't mind, but the pay was a lot more than what I was even earning as a senior manager in my previous place of work. So it was like I was given an opportunity to soar. God, goodness, I don't know. I was given an opportunity to excel, and I'm in a space where I can grow much more, and I really loved working with people. And of course, I met fantastic people while in that place of work, So in December, I remember having a discussion with my boss, my immediate boss, Pamela. And I told her, I don't know, because as at that time, after we got married, my husband relocated to Germany. So we were already talking about how I should join him in Germany and all that. But I didn't want to, because of course I could not speak the language. That was like the major problem for me. I couldn't speak the language. It was one hassle for me. That I could not speak the language. I didn't understand German, but he speaks German very well. Like, he's multilingual. He speaks French, he speaks English, he speaks French, he speaks English, he speaks German, and he also speaks Spanish. So, and of course, he's not even a Nigerian, but he speaks Yoruba more than me. So with all of these things, I'm like, okay. It's easier for him to like integrate into the system compared to me that do not understand how the entire system works, right? So I was really contemplating on that, and I decided I wouldn't be going to Germany. I'll probably just stay back in Nigeria and just do my thingy. My career is blossoming at that time. So I remember that I had a discussion with my boss, Pamela, and I told her that, okay, this is what is happening now. Because I just joined the organization. It's not even up to 6 months. But Pamela and I, we became like sisters. She's one, I have so many good memories of that company that I worked with before I left Nigeria. So I had a discussion with her, and she said, Debola, just leave. Go and meet your husband. Go and stay with your husband. You just got married less than 6 months, and you want to leave your husband. You don't start a life like that. She encouraged me, and I can never forget that discussion we had that day. And I'm glad and I'm grateful that I had that kind of conversation with my boss. So I tendered my resignation 19th of December 2022. December 20th, I bought my flight ticket to Germany. It took time for me to like get the ticket because it was already festive period and all the flights were already booked, so I had to like find a way. So I bought my ticket on the 20th of December to go to Germany. My friend, on the other hand, she was also getting married that period. And so I couldn't go for a wedding because it was the same time I was moving to Germany. So I could not make it for a wedding. And she was worried. She said, no, Debola, I'm already getting a 2-bedroom apartment for us, blah 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 blah. She was like, I said, well, Benny, don't worry about me. So I remember we bought the tickets in the morning, and then by the time I got back from work, so I tendered my resignation on Monday, that was on the 19th, and I was supposed to leave Lagos on the 23rd of December. So I went to work that very day, and I wasn't really just feeling myself. I was feeling sad, a little bit emotional, because I'm going to be leaving this beautiful and amazing people behind. I already created, like, I'm this very happy person that just resonates around me. Once you're in my circle, I try to like bring everybody together. So I left work on that day feeling a bit down, feeling like I wasn't making the right decision, especially because I did not understand the language, the German language. And I put up my profile on LinkedIn, and I got quite a number of I got quite a number of invites, job offers and stuff. And when it gets to the point where they would ask me if I speak German, and I'm like, no. In fact, there was even one of the job offers that came with an official car, and we were like, I had done the first interview, done the other interview. We were obviously just speaking English all along. Then you now go to where they were like, do you speak German? And I said no. They said, oh, sorry, that they needed somebody that speaks German. And that was how I lost out on that particular job, which really, really pained me. Like, I felt really bad about it. It was like, okay, if I leave Lagos, Nigeria, I'll go to Germany. At least I have a job, and I'm not going to have to start looking for a job or anything, because my career is like, I want to, like, I'm that kind of person. So I got home that day, and I remember laying on my couch at home, and I got an email from IRCC, and the next thing was that request for original passport. You guys, how? Like, I literally just bought my ticket in the morning. Now, this is when less than 12 hours, and I'm getting another email from IRCC for original passport request. How do I want to do this? Like, I don't understand. I remember crying, laying down and thanking God, and crying and calling my husband, and he was crying on the phone with me, and calling my friend and screaming and jumping and all that. It was really a happy moment for me. And I if there's anything that IRCC has taught me, it has taught me how to be patient. If you need your patience tested, you need to try to apply to anything in Canada. But I am aware that the application process is now very, very fast. I know a couple of friends that got their visa approved within 2 weeks. So yeah, it's now completely fast. It's not like the way it was before. Then after I got my visa approved, I now had to submit my passport for stamping, and then for my visa and all that. At the end of the day, I waited another 2 weeks in Lagos, because the people that were handling my passport said there was holidays, so they had to wait and all that. Eventually, I moved to Germany in December, and then I went to meet my husband, and we had a discussion regarding this, if I wanted to stay in Germany or I should move to Canada. But we ended up choosing Canada because that was like our primary place that we wanted to live as a family. So it will make a lot more sense if both of us, or if I come to Canada, then it joins me much later. So I bought my ticket, and then I flew into Canada January 11th of January 2023. I landed in Toronto. Oh no, I landed in Montreal. I landed in Canada. It's really a beautiful place. and the journey so far has not been easy. I would not lie. It has been quite challenging, but it's the same for anywhere you go. You're migrating from a new place to another place is definitely not going to be easy for anybody, but so far so good. I'm thankful because I've learned a lot of things. The experience has been amazing. I am not even in the urban city. I'm not in the urban city at all. I'm in the rural side of Canada. That's New Brunswick. New Brunswick is not like Toronto, it's not like anything, but I am glad that I made that decision and I'm here. So it's been 9 months and I can tell you that for a fact it's going to be tough. It's going to be really, really tough, but only the going gets strong, right? I don't know how to put it, but then really that has been my experience. So I got into Canada, I started my study. It was, when I landed, it was during winter, so Jesus Christ, it was really cold, very freezing cold. I'm going to be sharing much more experiences with you. If you would want me to continue with this content, please, I need your advice, I need your support, I need you to please click on the like button, subscribe to my channel. I am begging you, encourage a girl. And to my amazing superstars that are joining the community, please, I welcome you and I appreciate your presence. And I promise I'm not going to abscond again. Because it just sometimes it really gets overwhelming that you get busy and stuff. But thank you so much for taking your time to watch my video. If you would like to watch more of me, please subscribe and so you don't miss anything. Thank you for joining. Bye.